Dear future husband, how are you doing, babe? Are you doing alright? Are you doing good? Because I want to know. Channeling a little bit of Glozell over there. How are you doing, Sayang? I've been thinking about you a lot. I know I say this like in every single video, right? I mean, how do you do a video or how do you do a letter that starts with dear future husband and not have you think about your future husband? Do you know what I mean? It's like it has to happen, you know? No, but I think I've been thinking about you a lot, especially based on our last conversation where we talked about, Chinese privilege. Because I realized that, as we go about having these, difficult conversations, there will be a lot of things we don't have in common. There will be privilege that, because like I said, I don't know your background, babe. I don't know your racial background. I don't know much about you, until you come into my life. So there's a lot of things about your privilege and my privilege where I don't know where they meet. I don't know where the intersections are. But today's privilege, the one thing I'm pretty sure we have in common, hence the future husband title, is male privilege. Now, this is obviously assuming you are a cisgendered male. If you're a trans man, then you would still have male privilege, but you would have come into it a lot later in life. Having said that, let's talk about male privilege. Male privilege, I literally thought about this on the way here before I was going to record, so let's start with that. Male privilege is assuming that every single girl is into you. And when whatever she does is leading you on, and when she rejects you, you got friend zoned. There's a literal term for it. Being rejected. Friend zoned. Male privilege is being able to go on more school trips than my sister. Because I'm a boy, so I get more chances to go. And it's okay. Male privilege is being out much later. I don't have a curfew. And that is only because I'm a boy. Male privilege is that when I went to college, I didn't get a lecture all the time about safety and the people I mixed with and things like that. Sure, my parents were concerned about my friends, which is why they invited them over. Hashtag spy mission. But I never got lectures as much as my sister does. Or did, about safety and the people you mix with. And sometimes it's the same thing, just repeated again and again. Because male privilege. Male privilege is not hearing attack horror stories. I'm not going to hear a horror story about how this guy got attacked here, or how this guy got raped here, or how this guy got abused here, or what happened to this guy who had acid thrown at his face. No horror stories. Male privilege is there is less discussion about my weight or how I look than my sister and my female cousins. Very rarely do people tell me things like this. Whereas my sister and my female cousins get it. It's a daily conversation. Oh, why you do that to your hair? Why you never take care of your hair? You've put on weight. You've lost too much weight. Hello. Male privilege is there's actually also less discussion about my skin tone. Or whether I've gotten too dark and things like that. Sure, it exists, but it's very rare. Male privilege is, there is less. Actually, you know what? There is no conversation about marrying me off. Whereas my sister and my female cousins, as soon as they turned about 18, 19, some of my aunts bring it up. Oh, you can cook already now, it's time to marry you off. Male privilege. Male privilege is that at family events, this literally happened to me, and I remember having a conversation with my mom about it, babe, where I was just, no, this is unacceptable. Where the family function finished, and then my aunt said this, where she literally said, okay, all the girls go into the kitchen to clean up. And nobody called the boys. And some of the boys were much older than the girls. So it's not even an age thing. The boys were just not called. They could play and do whatever shit they wanted. The girls had to go and clean. Male privilege. Male privilege is that men shouldn't be in the kitchen, apparently. Male privilege is that there's also less questions about who I'm with, where, who, what, where, when, why, all of that. Male privilege is that I'm always assumed that I am the leader, that I am taking charge, because I am male. Male privilege is that I get hired more, I get promoted more, and I get looked up to more, because I'm a guy. Male privilege is that, I don't know if you've noticed this bit, if you're in a group of people, say you're the only guy in a group of girls, and you go for dinner together, 99% of the time that when you call for the bill will come to the guy. Even if some of the ladies there are my superiors at work, the bill will come to me. Because male privilege, only men can pay apparently. Male privilege is the expectation that a man cannot show emotion, that a man cannot cry, because masculinity is so fragile. Male privilege is that I can walk out of the house looking like shit, in a sarong, in slippers, with eye bags and pimples and all of those things, and nobody will probably comment. Whereas if a lady were to walk out in any of those things, habis, fashion police will come out. I mean, have you ever seen a woman walk out in sarong? Male privilege is that I get to walk from point A to point B without anyone staring. Male privilege is I get to walk from point A to point B without anyone catcalling, saying anything about my body parts, or whispering, or even saying horribly foul things to me that they would honestly never say to their mother or their sister, or if any of their family members were around. So I don't know why, men do shit like that. Male privilege is that I don't get comments like, hey, why you look so tired, when you decide to go to work one day without makeup. Male privilege is that I get to walk around topless, if I so choose to do so. Oh, you and I get to walk around topless if we so choose to do so. Because our nipples or our upper area is not sexual. Male privilege is that we are not expected to know how to cook or clean or not do anything at all. We can just sit and be lazy pigs. You choose. Male privilege is that when there's cooking that needs to be done in the kitchen, my sister will get called before me. Now, this is something that I struggle with a little bit, babe, because it's so easy to be lazy. That rhymed. That it's so easy to just say, oh, you know what, she'll do it and things like that, when it's a very, very obvious part of male privilege having taken place. That she will always get chosen first. And she's 5 years younger than me. I don't understand. Male privilege is that when you walk, people walk out of your way. And some men expect people to walk out of their way. Who the hell you think you are? God, is it? The entire ocean must part for you. Stupid. Male privilege is being able to talk and say sexist, misogynistic things and get away with it. Because boys will be boys. Male privilege is being able to get away with stuff. Because boys will be boys. Male privilege, and this is the part that I like how I always say the most irritating thing right at the end. Male privilege. Actually, you know what? Let's move that a bit. Something new just came. Male privilege is being able to be figureheads, being able to be the epitome of God in religions. Because in case you didn't know, babe, I did a course once on Western civilization and religion and things like that. And the earliest forms of religion, of like spirituality, were all goddess cults, were all fertility cults, where we always prayed to the divine mother, the divine goddess, and things like that. And even like say within Hinduism, the female gods have always been huge beings of immense and amazing power. And yet over the years, if you look at religion now, God is always male. Like even if you look at Hinduism, if you look at the Trinity, the three main gods, it's Vishnu, Shiva and Brahma, all male. How did that happen? I do not understand. Whereas if you really look at women, right, these women are the source of power, are amazing human beings, are goddesses, and yet they are pushed aside. I do not understand. Last one. Male privilege is being able to rape someone, and the conversation won't be about you. The conversation will be about the rape victim, the clothes she was wearing during that time, how her behavior may have led you on and so forth. Male privilege. So here's the thing, right, babe? I know, if you've watched the previous love letter and everything, I get very worked up about things like this. I get very worked up with the injustices of the world. And so the thing is, you might be wondering, like, why are we having this conversation? I think the reason we're having this conversation, babe, is because I feel these are conversations we need to have. These are conversations that we need to talk about, because as you and I have male privilege, we need to use this privilege for good. We need to be, if we're in positions of power, to give more power to women. If we are able to look out more for our sisters, our brothers, and just make the world a safer place for all women, trans and cisgendered. Because this is problematic. Male privilege is like, just feeds into patriarchy and all of those terrible, terrible toxic masculinity things. And that upsets me a lot. Especially when I see some of the things that my sister goes through. Unacceptable. What we need to do, babe, is use this male privilege to teach our sons, teach our brothers, teach the men in our life to treat women better. To accept that their masculinity is not so fragile, and to recognize toxic points of masculinity, and for boys to grow up whole, not holding back their tears, not knowing how to cook, not knowing how to clean, and all of those things. We need to raise our girls like the way we raise our boys. Raise them to that standard. And we need to teach our boys some lessons on humanness and emotion, because we're not doing that at the moment, babe. We're not. So I'm just, I'm just thinking about the way we want to raise our sons, or son, whichever, and how we want to bring him and them up well. And I think our work starts now, with the men in our life right now. Let's call them out. Let us call out male privilege when we see it. And let us remind men that there isn't a stereotype that they need to fit into. Because we're all human beings, right? Anyway, sayang, I know that we've been walking down some very interesting conversations right now, and I look forward to talking more about it with you soon. I hope you're okay, baby. Baby? Calling you baby now. Okay. I hope you're okay, babe. Have you eaten? Please go makan. Go have something to eat. And take care of yourself. Love yourself. And I will see you soon. Bye! Horrible. Bye! If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who you know needs to check their privilege. And subscribe. I make new videos every week. Bye!